Hello everybody, this is Zacharias. We're back again with more of Avernum Escape from the Pit, so let's continue on. We're here at Fort Spire now. So let's explore. A tall man with long curly hair sits behind the counter. He is writing rapidly in the ledger, making extensive notes on the travelers and merchants who pass through this tower. He wears neat clothes with a frayed badge of office sewn onto the shoulder. He rises to greet you when you enter. A warrior of Avernum, eh? Bringing a prisoner for the Abyss? I can see you aren't. I suppose you want to pass through, then. I am Bowman, and I'll be assisting you. You need to check in before I can let you through. I'm looking for a mage who is being sent to the Abyss. Know anything about it? Oh, I don't know anything about the prisoners. I take their names and check them in. That's all. You should ask the ward. She watches the cells. What is your job here? I am the liaison for the Keep of the Spire. That's a fancy way of saying I greet visitors. This outpost is far too small to have a mayor or even a captain. The Keep of the Spire? That is the official name, but everyone just calls it Fort Spire. What is the Spire? It is the pillar of stone you are standing on. The huge granite pillar coming from the pit below, upon which this building is built. I'm sure you saw it while crossing the bridge. Who do you normally greet? There are three sorts of visitors: prisoners headed for the Abyss, merchants looking for valuable goods from northern caves, adventurers crossing on some fool's errand. What is the Abyss? That's what we call the huge cavern to the north, where we send all the violent misfits who don't belong in Avernum. I greet them, tell them what to expect, and brief them before they get sent on their way. So they get banished to Avernum, and then Avernum banishes them there? Ironic, isn't it? But necessary. Sometimes the Empire sends down a few hard cases to make our lives interesting. Murderers, pirates, worse. Criminals we don't want to execute are sent to the Abyss. We don't have the resources to imprison them. Is it safe for me to go up there? No, the residents of the Abyss are not fond of Avernites. Bulls, they call us. They'll deal with you, but they can be very dangerous. Bowman sits behind the counter, taking notes. You notice a variety of scales and alchemical equipment. These are probably there to analyze any questionable goods someone tries to bring through. What is that badge? It shows that I am the chief representative of the Avernum government at this fortress. Alright. Do many adventurers head into the Abyss? Yes, Lord knows why anyone would want to go up there, but some do, and it's not my job to stop them. Anyway, I give them information, make sure they aren't smuggling anything, and check them in. What can you tell me about the Abyss? Well, the people are awful. There are giants, lots of bandits, very unpleasant. That pretty much sums it up. Smuggling, what might people smuggle? Stolen goods and dangerous magic items, mainly. Nobody has yet made any dangerous drugs down here. Thank goodness, but a lot of stolen items end up finding their way north of here. Any jobs that need doing around here? Yes, you seem well to know enough that I can tell you. There is a hidden bandit lair southeast of here, between here and Fort Saffron. I have been authorized to give a bounty of 500 coins to whoever slays their chieftain. The bounty remains uncollected. Ridding the Great Cave Abyss route of their souls would be most appreciated. To the southeast? Yes, in the side tunnels. We would have wiped them out by now, but for the fact that all the Great Cave's excess soldiers are defending against the Slith menace. Are there any other bandit lairs around? There was one to the southwest, but the rogues within were attacked and slaughtered by a roving band of monsters. As said monsters have been keeping to themselves, we have been leaving them alone in return. Well, I got good news for you. I already killed the bandits there. I killed the leader of a bandit group to the southeast. Did you? That would explain the drop-off in bandit attacks recently. Well done. He leaves the room and returns with a sack of silver coins. Thank you for your help. The merchants of the Great Cave owe you a considerable debt. I need to check in. He asks your name and writes it down on a ledger. He also writes down brief descriptions. Finally, he says, "Excellent. Now all I need to do is a quick search of your goods for forbidden contraband and you can proceed." The box you were given to smuggle into the Abyss suddenly feels very heavy in your pack. Okay, now here's what's interesting. If you wanted to go the route of Mina, you can't go through here. You would have to go another way for a reward, and then once you complete that, Dexter will then give you a quest to murder someone. But you can choose not to kill them because killing them will penalize your reputation, even though you do get a reward from it. And me personally, for this one, I think this is a more satisfying direction to go about, because I do prefer my group here to be good citizens of Avernum, basically. We're not going to just say go ahead and search me, because that will look like we're trying to hide something, even though I've never tested that right out to check. But we're just going to be honest here and say, someone asked me to take this box to Mina in Spire. Bowman takes the box. Well, now, it's a courier's box, and someone asked you to take it to the Abyss? This contains questionable good. I'm sure of it. Don't leave. He hands it off to a guard and leaves the room. You wait for an hour. Eventually, he returns. Illegal goods, alright. Illicit herbs. We think you're just an unwitting conspirator, so you can go. You did the right thing giving us the box. And for that, we got another boost to reputation, which is good. All right, go ahead and search me. The search is very fast and professional. You open your bags. Bowen peeks aside and nods approvingly. Then he makes a short note in his ledger. All right, you are free to enter the Abyss. Now, when you want to pass by, just walk right up to the gate to the east. A guard will let you through. Good luck to you. What was in the box you took from me? Illicit herbs. I'm afraid I am not allowed to describe them in more detail. It was difficult to get the box open, but we managed. You did a good deed to give it to us, which we clearly did because our reputation went up because of that. Will I need to check again in the future? Not as long as I am on duty. I will remember you. Okay, so yeah, we did a good deed. Also, it really did not sit with me well that Mina was the one who was responsible for the bandits and attacking, even though she was all like, oh, try not to kill any Avernites, but if you do, then it's not a big deal. Like, that really does not sit well with me at all. All right. Let's go ahead and head back to Almeria and see what Dexter has to say real quick, and then we can explore the rest of Fort Spire. You should first deliver that box to Mina in the village of Spire before asking me for more work. Oh, well, unfortunately, I have good news for you. I don't even have that box anymore, so... Yeah, if you did choose... So that's all Dexter has to say, but yeah, if you did choose to give it to Mina, it's impossible to go through it. Go through the Spire Fortress. You will have to go around the area to add another round to get to Mina and Spire. But I prefer that route of just giving them the box at Fort Spire anyway, because not only do you get a boost to your reputation, but if you continue Dexter's quest, and eventually he'll ask you to murder someone, which if you fulfill it, you'll get a decent reward, but you get a penalty to your reputation, and I'm not about that at all. A thin woman with reddish blonde hair peers through a narrow barred window. Occasionally, she shifts uncomfortably in her armor. She says, I'm Ward Allison. You don't look like a prisoner. Abyss-bound, are you? Best of luck. I'm looking for a mage who was being sent to the Abyss. Know anything about it? She laughs. You must mean Ashworth, that crazy sod. He's an odd case. He's locked up upstairs. An odd case. He's being sent to the Abyss because he's powerful and a little crazy. In other words, he's here because of what he might do, not because of what he's done. And yet, it doesn't seem right to me. That's why we've kept him here longer than usual. I'm waiting for word from the castle that he really should be banished. Can I see him? Yes, but only if you promise to take him off my hands. She winks. I'll have the gate open for you. I have permission to pass the fort. How do I get through the gate? Walk right up to the gate outside. We'll let you through. What's wrong with something wrong with your armor? All the parts are too small except for the parts that are too big. All of our armor is cobbled together from passed down parts. It's been worn by at least 5 Avernum soldiers before me. How do you know? She smiles and shows you the right side of her breastplate. A column of 5 names has been scratched into it. Tradition out here, when we're honored with the breastplate, we mark it. What are you doing? Well, I'm in charge of the keep, but we're short-handed, so I pull shifts watching the portcullis. Tell me about this keep. The Keep of the Spire, an impressive piece of work, no? It's the main barrier between us and the reprobates of the Abyss. What is the Abyss? It is the prison of Avernum. I hear they have 2 towns there. They can do what they want as long as they do it away from us. Tell me about the first town. That would be Spire, not to be confused with Fort Spire. It's an ugly place. Brigands, blood sports, a vicious, nasty mayor. Watch your back in there. Tell me about the second town. Barga. I don't know much about it. All I know is that they fight a lot of giants and that some people there seem to be halfway decent. Only halfway, mind you. How do you know when to open the portcullis? I have a list of everyone who we sent through and who can come back, and if they aren't on them, we have to assume they belong in the Abyss. It's harsh, sure, but the Abyss is where we put the criminals. Thieves, murderers, and the like. We have a right to keep those people away from us. And I agree completely. I mean, early on, like at the very beginning at Fort Avernum, is where we first hear about the Abyss anyway. And it's more than fair that that's where they send the worst kind of people from the surface that get exiled, because the good people who were exiled were clearly just exiled for like very minor, if they can even be considered crimes, you know. Exiled for like incorrect opinions, stuff like this, stuff extremely minor. So yeah, it makes sense why they would have a system like the Abyss. There is a man with a sour expression sitting at the table. He is drinking ale at a remarkable rate. A symbol hangs from a chain around his neck. He motions for you to sit across from him, though he would plainly prefer to be alone. So what brings you here? I'm a former missionary. He stresses the word former. Former missionary. Tell me about your faith. Why? So you can mock it like all the others did? I follow the path of the true way, and I will do so until I die. A missionary from where? I just came from the Abyss. I was trying to bring some of their less horrible souls to a more peaceful state when I suffered the fate of the holy. What fate is that? The derision of those who live far from grace. It could be worse, of course, and they could have killed me. He sighs and drinks. Anyway, I failed and fled. Now I'm going to the castle. What interesting things have you heard in the Abyss? Not much. There are 2 towns, Spire and Barga. Barga is to the north, and they're busy fighting off giants. They're doing much better than you would expect. They have some fierce fighters there. That's all I know. Now excuse me, I have a bit more work to do before I move on. He walks off to refill his mug. There is a small, balding man with a lined face and cold eyes held in the cell. He stares at you. He does not seem like the most trustworthy fellow. Come to gawk at me? He sneers. Get a good look. I'll be free of you Vols soon enough. Why are you locked up? I'm being sent to the Abyss by the Vols, and they don't want me to escape. And how'd you end up here? On the surface world, I was an official, powerful and high in rank. Then a rival outmaneuvers me and gets me sent down here, and the slugs down here have no sense at all. Outmaneuvered you? They planted evidence of sedition in my offices. I was lucky to escape with banishment. And the slugs would be? The pale voles, like yourselves. People who had nothing to offer up above. I'm not like you at all. What makes you think we have no sense? I was in the running to be mayor of Almeria. I try a few minor maneuvers, things that would have been considered perfectly normal in the world above, and they get all self-righteous and send me here. The things I could have done for them. The worms. He spits in disgust. The prisoner sits in the corner of the cell, waiting for the guards to come and take him the rest of the way to the abyss. You call me a bull? That's what we abyss folk call the people of Avernum. Bulls. Quiet, placid, content to hide in their holes. All of us are content to hide. And you stay in Avernum, then that makes you a fool, which is even worse. He spits and turns away. One lone man is being kept in the upper cells. He wears the robes of a mage, though they plainly haven't been laundered for some time. He is sitting in the corner, muttering angrily to himself. He doesn't even notice you until you wave a hand in front of his face. Then he looks up at you with a star. What? What do you want? Have you decided where I'm to be taken yet? He sees that you don't know what he is talking about. I'm Ashworth. What are you doing here? Where else would I be? Nobody wants me around. They pass me from place to place. Nobody knows what to do with my power. Where were you before you came here? Formello, then the Tower of Magi, then Patrick's Tower. Then they decided to let the Abyss have me. Why don't they want you around? Because I am powerful. Because my magical skills are great. But He seems confused. The right side of his face starts to twitch. Are you alright? It takes him a moment to return to the conversation. I hear things. I don't hide it. It is part of my strength. Nothing wrong with hearing things. What do you hear? Sounds, music, voices, ideas. In my magical explorations, I have peered beyond the veil into infinite space. It has purified me, increased my knowledge. But others, they are jealous. What do others think of your voices? They are jealous and afraid. My power, my seeing beyond. I don't want to talk about this with you anymore. You only mock me. You have not gazed naked at the infinite. You don't understand. Ashworth sits in the corner of the cell, muttering quietly. At least now he occasionally looks up at you, showing that he knows that you are there. I may have found employment for you. Suddenly, he seems interested. Really? Someone who will use and respect my power? I am intrigued. I have much I would share with them. Tell me more. The freehold of Kaias is looking for mages to aid in its defense. You describe Kaias and his freehold. Ashworth listens with rapt attention. Then he is quiet for a while. His head is tilted to one side, as if he is hearing something you can't. He nods slowly. Then he says, "You are correct." He rises, and without even a word of farewell, he walks out of the cell. Odd fellow. Well, at least, okay, so we don't have any additional dialogue with her. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the freehold of Kaias real quick. Tell him we got him his other mage. Kayas, I'm pretty sure, will have another quest for us as well. I found the fort's fire mage and freed him. And he came here. Ashworth is a quirky fellow, but we can make good use of him. He seems to approve of what we're building here, and he is not entirely insane. Kayas gives you a pouch of silver coins and a long, thin ivory one. A quality reward, and even better awaits you if you continue to help us. Any other bounties available? Yes, not recruitment, diplomacy. I simply require you to carry a message to the mayor of Barga. He gives you a small sealed scroll from a pouch and gives it to you. That is all. Very simple, really. What is the message? Kayas dryly replies, diplomacy. About the wisdom of not poking your nose into affairs that don't concern you. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, where is Ashworth, by the way? You find that Ashworth has made his way to the freehold. However, he doesn't seem to have settled in. He stands in the corner, scowling at this humble workshop. Sometimes he mutters quietly to himself. Was your journey here a safe one? What? Oh, yes. I had to burn away a few insolent pets, but I arrived without injury. How have you settled in? Poorly. I thought here on the frontier there would be foes I could turn my fire on. But not yet. Not yet. Soon, I hope. I've given Kayas some advice. Then, when the foes come at last, I can give them a proper reception. There is something else I would like to know. He turns and looks you in the eye. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I do not think you are interesting. I want you to go away. Not much you can say to that. You walk away. Okay, so we have a new mission from Kayas to deliver a message to Barga. But we will get to that when we can. Let's go ahead and head over to Bandit Keep they're talking about. Alright, so something I want to do real quick here while we're in the area is go back to a trainer in Fort Dubno. I've been doing my best to keep things under control. Perhaps you've heard of me? As a matter of fact, stories of your adventures have started to get around. I like to help you if I can. I've learned a few secrets of archery in my years doing this. I can give you some lessons if you'd like. Sure, I'll give you a try. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna buy a couple thrown missile levels for them. And we'll eventually buy more for them as well. But the reason why I wanted to give them a couple levels at least, so we can continue training these. Okay. And we'll come back for the other ones level later, so we can complete their battle disciplines. Oh, no, back down here. so we're going down in quest here, but that is all right. We still have that ruined bandit lair to explore, so we can do that. And we will have to check out Spire and Barga in the Abyss. So we have permission. Yes, here we are in the ruined bandit lair now. So let me first do that. And alright, so with that in mind, I'm going to save the game right here, but I will see you all very soon with the next part of the Let's Play.